Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is kind of off the cuff. I would have put this on to Mad Dodge's thing, but YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, has decided that Dodge can't stream. Work that one out. So I've had to put it on mine. Now, as you can see, we have lots of people. This is likely to get interesting. Doku, go for it, mate. All yours.
All right. Well, Farty, Sharati, thank you for joining us. Of course, we will be talking, as the title suggests, about gun violence and Biden's executive orders. I would just like to remind all the ladies and gentlemen in the audience, no one is coming for your guns. They just don't want you to have them to prevent gun violence because criminals follow laws and passing more laws will really stop gun violence. Now, won't it?
Here we go with that same old argument again. Crikey, open below me.
It's not like people can't 3D print them themselves.
It's not like people don't have lathes and stuff, and the internet doesn't exist, and blueprints aren't a thing. And
Agreed.
It's not like that anybody could go to your local home goods store and figure out how to make a potato. Are we allowed to say that last word on YouTube? A potato
Gun.
G to the U to the N?
Yeah, as you can tell, I don't care. So go ahead.
See-
Say what
You
you
better
like.
be careful because you're barely allowed to say Winnie the Pooh on YouTube anymore.
You're not
So
allowed to say
kind of-
Winnie the Pooh? Sorry, Fi, I'm just going to enjoy myself here. You're not allowed to say Winnie the Pooh. Now, why would you not be allowed to say Winnie the Pooh? I mean, it's almost like they're trying to suggest it looks like somebody. No, I just cannot imagine Xi Jinping, who they could be talking about. No idea whatsoever. Sorry, I just had a cold there. Go on, fight, mate.
So, like, fucking, what Americans need to realize that the rest of the world does actually see America in a certain fashion, and banning guns in America just won't fucking work because America is literally like the Fallout world. You can walk down the street and there's every fucking chance you're either going to kick over a rock and find a fucking road track, a zombie, or a fucking gun, or a handful of bullets.
I'm okay
Any
with all of
random
that.
place. Any random place. So,
Very
like, you know, if they go ban guns, all you do is just run around breaking into people's cars. Chances are you'll find one in the glove box somewhere.
You very well might find a handful of bullets under a rock somewhere in the United States.
Yeah, and bet you if you started digging in random spots, you'll find gun caches as well.
You probably would. I can't disagree with
Yeah.
this.
I mean, like the amount of the length of time that they've been going on with this, like, oh, they're coming for your guns, man, and like the amount of time the fucking preppers have been fucking burying shit in the ground, like there's fucking more guns in underground in America than there are in your friggin' registration rolls. Shit,
Yep.
it's not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. You can make your faggy, bloody, pathetic attempt, like, oh yeah, we'll have buybacks and fucking cut bloody takedowns and all this kind of shit for illegal weapons. But you keep doing buybacks, you'll still be getting the same amount of weapons off the fucking streets because people just go and take the money from the buybacks and go buy more fucking guns with it, like what we did.
Yeah, no one's ever addressed that little loophole. Is like, you're gonna give me money for my gun. Well, I wanted an upgrade anyway, so
That's exactly
Hey.
what we did. During the first buyback, right? Fucking, they said, oh yeah, we'll give you cash for your guns. So everybody got, like, everyone had like 10 or 15 guns, right? And they got the 2 or 3 shitty ones that fucking, you know, granddad fucking passed down, fucking great granddad's like one shot fucking, thumb fucking triggered fucking 22 bolt action or something like that. It's like, ah, fuck this piece of rust. You know, they sold about 3 or 4 of these shit ones. They got about $1,500, went straight down to Horsley Park gun shop and bought something new and nice.
exactly. That's the only way they could really make or close that loophole with the whole buyback thing is by giving you less money than it would be worth to actually go get a new one, and no one's gonna do that. I mean, you'll get a handful of people that are like, oh, but I'm doing it for the greater good. Oh, so you're giving up your ability to defend yourself because bringing a knife to a gunfight's really gonna work if you can get to the kitchen that quick. Yeah, smart idea, real smart.
But honestly, though, there is some credence to having more than one firearm. I mean, like, you can have your 22 practice firearm, you can have your self-defense everyday carry, you can have something at home like a shotgun or something like that. And in this sort of little scenario right then and there's 3 different calibers. There's 22, there's 12 gauge, and there's whatever pistol caliber you prefer.
Actually,
In
See,
my
that's what.
field.
this is where Joe Biden's red flag laws come into play that he signed into executive order or whatever. He wants people to start going, hey, this person has a problem. This person has a problem. This person has a problem. Go in and take all their guns away.
Yeah,
Well,
and
remember,
this is what that's going to lead to, because like we had this cunt a couple of years back, John Edwards fucking shoot his 2 kids because his wife was fucking him over, and they wanted to try and bung this fucking any bloke in Australia that wants to get a gun. Now they want it so that the police go and ask all of this dude's exes whether he should have a gun. And of course, that's like as if like all your exes are going to be like all truthful and shit. Oh, he wants a gun. Nah, fuck this gun. He wants to do something. No, I'm going to get in the road just to spite him. Fuck off.
on
Yeah.
just before jumping down that rabbit hole, Farty, what you're talking about having multiple weapons, I was responding to an almost exactly similar thing on Twitter the other day, saying essentially like, "Oh, everybody should have at least one." I'm like, you should have one for personal defense. You have something you can carry. You should have one for home defense, like you said, a shotgun. You should have a practice weapon so you maintain proper training, and then you should also have a hunting rifle. So theoretically, every weapons owner in America should have at least practice and hunting, bare minimum.
Hmm.
But
But
ideally, you're looking to have at least 4.
but I
And
want a
if
50
you have
cal.
children, you should have one that is smaller for them, ideally their size, and a BB gun so that they can use for target.
Exactly. But more on the point about these red flag laws. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have either suspicious Susan down the street who stares at everybody through binoculars, or some random person who just has a vendetta against you use these red flag laws against you just to fuck with you, kind of like how people do swatting on the internet, because that's already a thing we haven't been able to fix yet. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up with more shootings by police, or end up with more police getting shot because you're putting them in a nefarious situation. Because I guarantee you, you're not going to knock on somebody's door and forcibly take away their firearms for no reason because Jack down the street doesn't like you because you parked in his fucking driveway once. Like you're gonna end up creating more situations where people are gonna be put in potentially lethal danger. This is gonna backfire gloriously, and by
That's
gloriously
exactly
I mean
right.
terrible.
And they fucking actually that shit kind of fucking happens out here. It's a bit of a fucking unspoken rule. If you want the police to show up, you say that the person that you complain about has a weapon. Because if you don't, they'll take fucking hours. If you say the cunt's got a weapon, even though he doesn't, and you well and truly know he doesn't, just telling the cops, oh, they'll come straight away then. And then, oh, I thought he had a weapon. And that's the excuse you get away with, you see. That's the almighty, we can't blame the victim excuse. Oh, but they didn't know. They thought. They were under the impression that their life was in peril and all this. And that's what the cops are going to use too. Is like, oh, we clearly got swatted here. This guy, there's no guns and all this, but we didn't know, you see. And this is going to put a lot of people in a position too of like every time they see the cops rock up to their house, we now don't know ourselves what their intention is. Are they going to come up to the door and ask us if we've got a cup of sugar? Or are they going to come and ask us about little missing Timmy from around the corners on the milk carton? Are they going to come and ask us nicely about how the conditions are the firearms are kept in? Or are they going to kick the fucking door in and start snorting like fucking livestock, fucking blasting fucking doors off and dogs everywhere? We don't know that anymore, so we must consider the worst possible scenario just like they do.
Oh, and that's exactly the problem. Is you've already by putting not only the police but the civilians, legal firearm owners who have done nothing wrong aside from again somebody doesn't like you or somebody thinks you're kind of crazy because I was screaming on a YouTube live stream last night. That now the cops can show up, and it's both an escalated situation because I know they might be here for nefarious purposes, and they know that I have weapons, or at least they've been told as much, which is going to make them that much more on edge. Like, oh yeah, I'm playing Duck Hunt. Let me go answer the door real quick. Oh no, he's got a gun. Oh, never mind. That was just a Nintendo laser pistol. Well, it looks like a gun. Yeah.
He's got a gun. Oh shit! It was Duck Hunter. Oh,
Exactly. Like,
Well,
you
it's
wanna-
made all the worse when people are literally turning Nerf guns into actual guns, especially recently.
I find that a bit silly. And then there was that epidemic several years back of fucking people putting fucking pastel paints and shit on guns, like Sheila's getting bright pink fucking pistols and stuff like that.
Oh.
That was silly for the simple safety reason that kids will probably think it's a toy.
Oh, the new trend I've seen is that people have started painting their guns like power tools and putting power tool logos on them.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is not going to go well.
Yeah, I know. It's like, guys, it's supposed to be an internet meme. You're not supposed to take it seriously. Please stop. Don't do this.
Darwin must be sitting there damn near ripping his fucking dick off right now.
But this is the problem with this. This is the problem with the situation. Under the guise of, quote, trying to prevent or curb gun violence, you have now inadvertently put hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of law-abiding citizens who have done nothing wrong at a heightened risk of gun violence, whether it's due to paranoid neighbors or the cops or what have you, by passing your laws to try to curb gun violence. These don't work. It's been proven time and time again. This approach doesn't work. The reason that they keep trying to convince people to do it is because when they say no one's coming to take your guns, bullshit. Yes, they are. It's literally what red flag laws are there for.
No, this is what it is.
Funny, though, because Americans are still dying hand over fist above guns with knives.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the next argument that both Australia and Britain had. So,
yeah, I think we know about knife crime over here. It's kind of it's a thing, okay? It's bad when you can actually walk down the road and see 4 or 5 lots of where people have put down flowers because people have been killed during knife crime, and you don't hear about it on the news. There is that many, they're not bothering reporting it.
Well,
but you see,
Jensen, we have
Doku,
that problem in the States too. Like,
it's
if it doesn't fit your narrative. Sorry, go ahead, Farty. Go ahead.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was going to try and get this in, but Shardy jumped in and I had a brain fart and I covered it with something else, and I just remembered. It's coercion, you see. They're not coming for your guns, Doku, but if you don't want the risk of your door being kicked in because we used to know that you had a gun at some random point in time, give us your gun and tell us that we've given up your guns, and then then that might not ever happen to you see, Doku. See, we're not taking your guns. We're just putting you in a position where you have to give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, you're not wrong at all. I actually, funny enough, made a statement about this on the applicable statement on Twitter last night. A government that is trying to restrict your rights for the promise of safety is not doing so with your best interest in mind. Anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together who can use a little bit of logic can realize that this type of law is going to put people at a heightened risk of getting shot and potentially killed when it doesn't need to happen.
Also, sorry.
And so that, like you said about coercion, yes, are they coming for your guns? Well, depends. If they think you shouldn't have them, then guess what? Yes, they technically are. Or if they think you might be a risk, you just simply owning something will put you at risk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good job America doesn't have anything like constitution, and especially one where, I don't know, guns are considered a normal part of life. Good job you guys don't have that. Oh.
Fuck off, you Brit.
Well, no, that's the thing about this whole situation. It's not going to stop crime. The only thing it's going to do is it's going to put law-abiding citizens at a heightened risk, and it's going to make them edgy. If anything, it's going to increase gun sales, which is going to put more people at risk because at the end of the day, if they think that people don't have guns, you know, the other outcome of this that hasn't been talked about yet. What do you think's going to happen if somebody wants to come in and rob you? Which house do you think they're going to pick? The one that they know is armed, or the one that they know is unarmed?
That's right.
Can't imagine.
Well, if somebody's staking out a house, like this happens a lot. Well, sorry, real quick aside note, Jensen, about all the flowers and knife crime.
Yep.
We have that same thing here in the United States, where if a shooting happens but it doesn't fit a certain narrative, it gets conveniently ignored and never talked about by the media, and people think it's a non-issue when in fact it is a very big one. But that requires
Bad.
I mean, we've already had 3 shootings this year alone that have been high profile and then completely ignored by the media simply because it doesn't fit a narrative because it wasn't a white male Trump supporter, which is what they desperately want it to be.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, Trump's not in anymore, so every shooting can't be blamed on him anymore either.
Yep. But no, the other issue that doesn't get talked about these red flag laws, criminals already stake out houses. They already stake out businesses if they want to go ahead and rob them.
Yep.
Do you think this is not going to be abused by criminals, knowing that the owner of this house might be armed, but hey, that guy's got some antiques or some nice paintings or maybe some gold or some silver, a nice car that I want to steal, I want to break in and take that shit? Do you think they're not going to use these red flag laws to disarm that person so that they can take advantage of them being unarmed?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, profiling is actually a thing, and you can do it yourself. Like, I used to have a job as a wheel clamper years ago, and I used to do the same thing there too. As I come up across a vehicle I'm about to clamp, I'll just do a quick walk around and have a quick squiz at it, because I learned a very important lesson one day. But I clamped this car and I'm looking at this vehicle, and it's this hotted up Japanese thing and looks like a little Asian fella's car, and I'm like, yeah, and it's got these little fucking tiny little Funko Pop things before Funko Pops were a thing, fucking blue tack to the dashboard, and I'm like, yeah, it's a young Asian fella and all this kind of stuff, and I'm thinking, this cunt's fucking Randy. What's the bet the little cunts into, like, the fucking Asian crime gangs and shit like that? And no shit, the little bastard, when he fucking come back, like, I'm parked up the other end of the car park, he's parked up all the way near the entrance, and fucking we've got to hang around and tell you that the fucking clamp's on the car because they can't actually do some damage, and it's like a fucking liability thing. Anyway, so I see him walking towards the car, and you can pick these cunts as they're walking in too. It's sort of like, 3 or 4 cars and someone will walk in, you're like, oh yeah, that'd be the guy who owns the Falcon. And sure as shit, Anyway, so fucking this little cunt's come up, and he's seen the clamp, he's looked over at me, I've got to the bottom of my Land Rover, he's reached into his belt, I've gone, oh shit, jumped back under the fucking car, and heard pop, 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 saw a couple of little legs running away. So called the cops, they've come down, they've seen everything. They go, okay, rightio, just take your clamp, fuck off. So I pissed off up the street for a bit, watch what happened. This little cunt come back, and as he disappears in the car park, a big clump of black things come fucking creeping across the fucking road. And it's the SWAT team. Anyway, fucking.
I'm not saying it. I want to, but I'm not going to say it.
It's very advantageous to sort of be able to look at something and go, oh, well, from what I can deduce from that, this little cunt's probably in an Asian crime gang. Hang on, I won't book this fucker. The last one shot at me. But this little cunt here, he's a little Asian businessman bastard. He's got no fucking dick. I'll stand over him. That, like, yes, you kind of had to also do that too, because there was one car park we did also had a motorcycle accessories place that was frequented by several different groups of bikies and all this kind of stuff. And you really didn't want to fucking book those cunts the wrong time. So they were supposed to be there, and they didn't really take a fucking a misunderstanding very nicely. It's kind of like no, can you please take the clamp off? I'm supposed to be here. It's just they just straight up go, keys, cunt. Fucking. So if it's not that fucking hard, and it's nowhere near not beyond the realms of some fucking dead shit who fucked up school his entire life, probably spent half his time in jail and all this kind of stuff, to learn that a car that looks like it's owned by some Sheila that's been through nothing but university and hippie shit all her fucking life is probably owned by a Sheila who's been to university and done nothing but hippie shit all her life. And there's every fucking likelihood this chick has got zero fucking weapons whatsoever, and she's probably even got blunted steak knives because it might hurt somebody. That's the fucking target that you want.
Well, sorry, go ahead, Sharadi. I saw you on mute a couple times.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, my husband made a good point. Is Hunter going to get charged for his illegal purchase? He asked, but Joe Biden said something during his statement earlier today about background checks and everybody getting background checks and needing them.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's why I brought that up.
Yeah, the thing is, we already have background checks.
Yeah.
Just because the FBI
More
isn't good at
in-depth
doing their
ones, I
job.
think.
Oh, that's the thing. Just because the FBI isn't doing their job, like the guy who committed the shooting in Colorado, FBI was already aware of him. Guy that did the Parkland shooting, FBI was already aware of him. Guy who did the Vegas shooting, FBI was already aware. They chose to do nothing. Technically, if you really want to take background checks seriously, if this is their solution to gun violence, that law is already on the books. It's already in place.
Yeah.
But they won't bring that up because what they're trying to do is more legislation because they want more restrictions because they are coming for your guns. They do not want you to own them. Doesn't matter if law-abiding citizens commit no crimes.
Because they forgot that murdering cunts with any weapon is already illegal in America.
No, really? I'm shocked.
I'm pretty sure they should have thought of that by now. I mean, they've had a couple of 100 years.
But the other thing that's going to be brought up, mark my words, this might take a day or two, but you'll start hearing people make this argument. Well, you don't need a gun. There's other options for self-defense. Do I need to remind you that there was a police officer who pulled over a woman just a couple of weeks ago, and she resisted arrest, got tased, tried to get back in her car while still being tased, pulled a gun and shot the officer before he had a chance to return fire. He did finally actually return fire. It did hit her. It didn't kill her. And then she drove away and then crashed the car and died later when she got to hospital. Yeah, there's plenty of other options for self-defense. It doesn't mean it's going to save your life, especially against a gun. You don't bring a taser to a gunfight. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Geez, I wonder what tone of the Biden's intelligence scale this individual was on. Could they use a computer or could they not?
Oh, we're not going down that rabbit hole as much as I want to. As much as I want to go down that rabbit hole, we're going to stay on. Yeah, all these people who are saying you have. Sorry, Jensen, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. What are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language.
Yeah, gotta make that illegal soon enough.
No, we shouldn't use harsh language because then the leftists will be all offended and it will hurt their fifis and then we will be in prison.
Listening to them.
We'll be in prison indefinitely.
Yeah, then we have to listen to them fucking cry. Ugh.
At that point in time, I would choose firing squad.
It's like listening to hormonal preteens. Trust me, I have one.
That's because that's basically what they are. Is they're overly emotional and mentally weak, and they're kids. They're literally kids.
I think I've actually got a solution to America's problem. And I think I've actually figured out the crux of the matter as well. See, yeah, Americans are renowned for being fat, lazy, and stupid. And fucking what they should actually do is make a gun that allows you to slap someone upside the back of the fucking head from across the bloody room. Because I guarantee you that's mainly the problem. It's like, why'd you shoot Billy? Oh, he was being stupid. Why'd you get up, slap him upside the back of the head? Couldn't be fucking bothered. I'd get him from across the room.
Do you know what?
Basically, you want a long-handled fly swatter just to slap him in the head?
Pretty much, either that or relinquish the law that says you're not allowed to assault people, so we can legally go and slap stupid people upside the back of the head.
I agree with him. Just saying, I agree.
And maybe, too, we might prevent people from fucking things up so bad that people are pissed off to the point that they go around fucking shooting people.
Funny enough, on Twitter the other day, there was someone who posted a meme saying, like the whole do something stupid, you're going to get your ass beat generation was a much better one than the go cry to the teacher and go get put in timeout. It's like, no, there's a point in time where, yeah, if you fuck up or you do something stupid enough, you deserve every repercussion you have. When you start trying to defend people or protect people, not only do you make them weak, but you run into problems like this, where people are so damn scared of their own fucking shadow that they think everybody's going to do something because they never got their ass beat once. They never had someone tell them no sternly. Immediately, you start using harsh words. You're like, "Oh my god, he's gonna attack me."
I like the idea, Oz. I'm sorry, it's brilliant. Yes.
Well, see, that is a thing there too. I mean, like, it will get to a stage if you keep letting the fucking namby-pambies, the fairy pinkos, the poofters, and the bloody soy boys and all that kind of shit continue on with this, you will get to a stage like we've got out here where we've got a couple of generations now that have never seen a gun before, only on TV, right? They couldn't tell you the difference between a real one or a fucking plastic toy. You could have two overtly fucking obviously different fucking things. One's clearly made of metal and the other one's clearly made of bloody bright pink plastic. Cunts nowadays couldn't tell you the difference between a real firearm and an unreal firearm. And fucking, this did play out a few years ago, and I mentioned this before, where an army reservist was doing some PT around where he was living, and he got full pack webbing and all this kind of stuff, and he built this little thing out of metal, and all it was like rectangular hollow steel, like RHS, square hollow tube steel, right? And he just basically put one long one as a bit of a barrel. He put a little bit at the end as a shoulder stock. He put a couple of curved bits to look like a magazine, a couple more bits to look like a bit of a handle, and another one to look like a bit of a handle out the front. It was the vaguest sort of resemblance to a fucking Steyr rifle, right?
Yeah.
And he painted it bright red. So this is just like hollow tube steel in the vague representation of a rifle. It doesn't even have like paneling or anything. So like the handles are literally just like two pieces of clearly welded RHS with a piece in the middle just to hold them rigid, right?
Yeah.
So there's not even any like fucking plastic covers or anything like that. It's clearly just some pieces of tube that some cunts just stuck together.
Yeah.
So this dumb cunt calls the cops and says there's a guy in army gear with an assault rifle and he's doing this, that, and the other thing. They know shit, shut the fucking suburb down, called in a goddamn helicopter and all this kind of bloody shit. And, like, that's the fucking stupidity that's going to fucking happen if you fucking don't keep up firearm training and familiarization and all this kind of stuff. So at least you can fucking determine that, oh, hang on, they're filming a movie over there. Oh, hang on, that 3-year-old's got a water pistol and not a fucking assault rifle. You know, oh, cause the little black kid's got a fucking water pistol. Must be fucking an anti-aircraft gun. Oh, he's trying to make 9/11. Oh, call the fucking Navy SEALs. But don't be that bloody stupid, because that's also where fucking cunts get hurt too. But just as a bit of a side thing to that one with the Army Reservist, Oz said the thing about the Nerf gun. Well, there were a lot of piss takes about that were coming out a bit later, where there was another Australian soldier who got full pack of webbing and stuff like that, and he got this dirty, great big Nerf belt-fed machine gun. He's got fucking belted bloody Nerf rounds hanging off him all over the joint, and this fucking thing slung around his neck. And on the back of his pack, he put a sign there, big red writing, saying, "Do not worry, it's just a toy." Because that's how dumb cunts have got.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Farty, just to touch on your point, I'm sharing my screen. I would like you to read it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about a bolt action 223 shotgun. Ow! That fucking hurt my head. Who's this fucking idiot? Jesus, this is a
broke Farty.
Yeah.
Jesus, this is a mindless fucking exercise in moron. Okay, I was always talking about the assault rifle version of the wet. Hang on, I'm going to need some more fucking context on this, man. I'm talking about someone's ability to kill mass amounts of people in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually do have an argument where I use an even older bolt-action rifle as my example of how I would have stopped a mass shooting with someone who had an AR-15.
Yeah.
I reckon, yeah, that's been my argument the whole time. I reckon if our gun laws were different, I was down at Port Arthur and I had a 303 Lee Enfield, I could have taken Martin Bryony out from over 800 metres away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple premise.
See, I
I-
kind of know what this guy is talking about. He's talking about the automatic shotguns that look like an AR-15. So he thinks he's
Okay.
yeah. That's
So
what
like a
he's trying to say.
So like a Sega 12 or something along those lines, a mag-fed thing that looks like an AK-47, but it's actually a shotgun.
I
Yeah,
still like how Farty went from a water pistol to an anti-aircraft missile, whatever the hell he said.
Yeah.
Well, that is the thing, though. You see, and it goes back to that where I was mentioning before, the unwritten rule of just tell the cops he's armed. You know, and that has actually bitten me in the ass before, where Sheila did lie about what I said. She horrifically edited everything down, and you know, it's beyond the point of like, okay, I can make a terrorist manifesto out of the fucking Holy Bible if you want to go around doing it like that. And she did do the same thing. Oh, he's going to come and kill me. He's going to do this. Apparently, they shut down half of Taree just for little old me. And I was up in another fucking town 100 miles away. Because she decided that she was going to be a fuckwit about it. So, and that's the like things like that. That's where cunts get themselves killed as well. Because at that point in time, I really just needed to be left alone. It wasn't a case of fucking a relationship breakdown. It was my mental health. She's supposed to have been a mental health worker. She should have known better. And instead of fucking just fucking off and leaving me alone and giving me some space, she decided to call the entire world down on top of me. And I was like, yeah, do I kill these cops, take their guns, and go and blow this fucking bitch's head off and burn an insolent little fuckwit? Because a lot of times, I guarantee you, that's how women get killed. Don't do this, or else I'm going to do it just to piss you off. Right, you're going to die, bitch. Why did that happen? Because you were told, you fuckwit. Yeah, but like, well,
You're not wrong.
yeah, the thing that made my head sort of really hurt was the bolt action 223 shotgun. Okay, yeah, because they're like three different fucking things all in the one sentence there.
the whole reason I bring this up is because the point you made about when it comes to gun control, like people being scared of guns, it means they don't know what the hell it is. They wouldn't know proper gun safety, let alone how to recognize an actual weapon from a freaking toy. So again, bolt action, shotgun, 223. No. These none of these things are the same, and none of these things. Bolt action has nothing to do with an AR platform or any semi-automatic weapon because you can't have a bolt action semi-automatic weapon.
Well, see, like it doesn't say anything about semi-automatic there. It's the whole you can have a bolt-action 223 or 5.56 rifle. That's like fuck. That was that thing damn near jizzed me pants over a few months back.
Well, the only reason I know he's talking about a semi-automatic shotgun is because he says the assault rifle version of the weapon, which it's still is. So I know he's talking about an AR-15. Because that's what these idiots are always talking about. Because there are semi-automatic shotguns that look similar to an AR-15. They are completely not the same thing. You cannot break one apart and change the upper and lower receiver so it can be a 223 to a 5.56 or 308. Like you can't do that with these types of weapons, and there's still semi-automatic shotguns. I don't know where the whole bolt action thing is coming from, but it just highlights that this dude knows absolutely zero about what the fuck he's talking about.
If I may,
well,
just for a sec, okay, have you gone a sec? Honestly, it has been proved that these geniuses, and by genius C, terminal fuckwits, they actually believe to turn a gun into an assault weapon, all you have to do is make it black. And I'm just going to wait there.
The funniest part about it is that
Racist.
back in my day, fucking they used to say that the SLR, the L1A1, the FNFAL, that was an assault rifle. But now apparently that's a battle rifle. So as long as we're going to make a category that's going to leave the SLRs alone, I'm fine with this fucking you can ban the assault rifles bullshit because I'll have something with a bigger bullet. Yeah. But it's the thing. You can get a bolt action 223 rifle. Now it's these are two different complete types of guns to begin with. Like you got a smoothbore shotgun. You can get rifled shotguns, but most shotguns are typically smoothbore. And you got a rifle. That's the difference that you typically define them as. Is like one fires shot and one fires a projectile. The rifle fires a projectile. Shotguns fire shot. That's the general definition. You know, you can't fire a single, well, except for a slug, but you can't fire a 223 projectile out of a shotgun and have it do something appreciable out the other end. It's those kinds of things there that, like, you know, oh, I can't have, like, was it a 30 caliber round magazine clip? That kind of a thing. That's what made my head hurt.
Wow.
It's quite the fascinating thing, to say the least. Like, how little these people actually understand. And bear in mind, these are the people that want to be passing gun legislation. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
And another thing on top of that too is that, like, the whole thing with assault weapons, like the term assault weapon doesn't really mean that it's going to kill any better or anything like that. It's just redesigned to work in a different environment, and that's what a lot of people need to realise. A battle rifle, like big old SLR, that was good for something like World War II, where you're fighting across, you know, big plains and stuff like that, and you know, you need to reach out and touch someone at maybe 600, 700, 800 meters. Nowadays, combat happens within 300 meters typically, and in more and more growing occasions, it's urban warfare. So all an assault rifle is just a weapon that you can use in a confined urban environment. It's got nothing to do with its color or anything like that. And then just the term assault doesn't mean diddly shit either. You can have an assault shotgun. Yeah, okay, that just means it's modular and small and capable of being used in tight confined spaces for things like door breaching and things of that nature. You're not going and sweeping a fucking house with a shotgun in a fucking room clearing exercise or anything like that, partially because you don't carry enough fucking ammunition to begin with. And, like, yeah, sure, you might have an assault shotgun that can fucking ripple off 5 rounds in under fucking a nanosecond or something like that. You could do that with a normal shotgun, slam firing it in the pump action fucking thing of it. On top of that as well, they don't do anything different from a normal bloody shotgun anyway. They fire the same fucking rounds with the same fucking projectiles that you'll fire out of any other bloody shotgun just as fucking fast. And in a lot of occasions, these things are actually a lot of really convoluted and unwieldy and all this kind of bloody shit. And most fucking armies don't even use shotguns for that very fucking reason, because they are a pain in the ass, and especially if you really need to load one in a fucking hurry. So, yeah, use an assault shotgun. They're fucking beyond useless. Go for it.
Well, here's another one that I want to read to you. If the screen is up, you'll like this
It
one.
is. It's all done. Yeah.
From a Muslim Marine. This just goes to show you that you can still be in the military or have been trained with firearms and still not know what the fuck you're talking about. The AR-15 uses the exact same bullet as the military equivalent and is meant to essentially annihilate whatever it hits. Once the bullet hits the intended target, it leaves an extremely large irreparable exit wound. This is why you rarely ever have survivors from mass shootings. The AR-15 can also shoot upwards of 800 yards or over a half mile with accuracy in many cases. Know a little about guns, add a scope, and you can do some serious damage. No need for any civilian to have access to such a dangerous weapon. Bottom line, the AR-15 is a weapon of war. My response. The AR-15 can fire a 22, a 5.56, or a 308, or 7.62, etc., depending on how the rifle is configured. By comparison, here's a 4.44 Marlin. What were you saying about designed to annihilate whatever it hits again?
As my husband just said again, pointing out something that Joe Biden said in his statement earlier today. But putting a brace on a pistol makes it more lethal. He actually did say that earlier.
Oh God.
Okay. I got to be that guy, but okay. 22 caliber. Like, calibers are measured in inches, whereas millimeters are obviously in English. So .22 caliber is .22 of an inch. 223 is .223 of an inch. The projectiles are basically the same diameter and all this kind of stuff. It's just the charge behind it. That's the difference. And they do assign numbers to it. So, like, say 22 LR is a long rifle round. That's a standard specification for that. 223 is a standard specification for the civilian version of 5.56, which is in English. 762 or 7.62 millimeter is 308 or 0.308 of an inch. So you basically mentioned the same two rifles twice.
I know. I chose that specifically just to see if anybody would participate. They didn't. See, you
Except
actually, yeah, no. See, you actually knew, but I was waiting to see if anybody would actually bring that up because, to be blunt, anybody that knows anything about guns would actually point that out, but they would also realize that it was intentional bait.
Hey, Batman.
Guten Tag, mein Herr.
Hey, Batman. But yeah, I was trying to bait him to see if he would actually respond to it because, you know, it would be very easy to point out. But
well, I think the real reason that they're calling things assault weapons is because they want to take your guns off you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
they
not-
want assault.
that-
Yeah.
Sherlock, why do you think this whole thing started?
well, there are still people that are out there trying to make the argument that AR stands for assault rifle.
I don't know what it stands for. I would not.
I'm a light
Yeah.
It's a manufacturer's name.
Yeah. The AR-15 was designed by Armalite as a civilian semi-automatic rifle, so they titled it Armalite Rifle Model 15. That's what it stands for.
Well, your military Armalite's an assault weapon, I suppose. But the civilian model, I doubt it. But then again, like I said in the chat, technically, any weapon from a knife to a fucking minigun is an assault weapon because you use it to assault people with.
Exactly.
He has a point. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the other thing I like pointing out to is a lot of these gun control brainlets on Twitter. When you say assault weapon, can you define that for me, please? Are we talking bolt action rifle? Are we talking muzzle loader? Are we talking semi-automatic? Are we talking fully automatic?
Are we talking trebuchet?
Yeah.
But
Are we talking
the
crossbows?
real reason Joe Biden wants gun control is because he's sick of his people getting shot in the head.
Actually, I'm actually thinking it's more of the thing that Biden actually really hates his wife and secretly wants her to be attacked and raped and all this kind of stuff for his own perverted fantasies and shit like that. Because what was the advice? So what was the advice to his wife? Oh, just you don't need an assault minigun gunship. You need just a double barrel shotgun. I keep telling my wife to just go outside, you fire both barrels in the air, and that'll scare anything off. But it'll also tell every cunt she's out of ammo and she's a weak target. So,
Yep.
some pretty shitty advice there, Joe. Unless you want that to happen.
That's the fun
Has a
story.
point.
There's a fun story from World War II where soldiers would listen for the popping sound of a clip to know that their enemy was out of ammunition because counting bullets isn't something you do. So
That's actually,
you want to bait.
That's actually a bit of an old wives' tale. You aren't hearing fucking clips popping out of M1 rifles while fucking every cunt shooting and stuff, and you're more than like 20 feet away.
You're talking about Americans listening for clicking. Have you ever seen the film The Longest Day? That American, he's hiding behind the wall, and he's listening for the cricket thing. And he's click. So he gets up, and am I glad it's you? This is a fucking German who's minigun. Sorry, submachine guns not working correctly. Who shoots him and then click.
Again, that's the thing is people did try to use that tactic. It's not just a World War II thing, but they would try to listen for when your enemy reloads or you count the amount of shots if you know roughly the number of enemies. To increase your chances of not getting shot. So people started using it as a tactic to bait people out of cover. But that's been going on in warfare for a long time.
Yeah, that more comes from more things like the MG34, where because it could fire so fast and all this kind of stuff, it'd heat up the barrels, and it gave you a couple of opportunities, quite a lot, because you were firing so fast, you were constantly going through belts. So you could sort of time it or sort of generally judge, like a few certain lengths of a brr, brr, brr will equal basically a belt. So when you start feeling like you hear a pause, you're like, right, they must be changing belts. We've got about X amount of time to get from here to there. And then the same thing there too. After a certain amount of belts, there'll be an even bigger pause. You'll be like, right, he should be changing barrels out now. And so you did get those kinds of things.
Another one from the war for you. It's what my dad told us. Got this guy, small platoon. They're up against this German machine gun emplacement. Yeah, one of those pillboxes.
Yeah.
So one of the sergeant goes, right, okay, lads, but we need to go up there, throw this satchel charge in, blow them up. The guy, I'll do it. Grabs the satchel, runs up, throws it in, comes back, as should have gone off by now. As why hasn't it gone off by now? This private looks at him and goes, I can tell you why, but I hope those bastards don't eat me sandwiches.
I mean, if you need a reason, there you go.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
I knew that I'd get you, Jensen.
Yes, that's definitely a British joke, because it wouldn't be an American joke. They'd be like, hey, I really give a shit about my MREs I threw in that bunker there.
Yeah,
it's better with British because they had sandwiches.
Oh, yes.
Let's face it, Farty. If it was the Americans and it was MREs, the Germans would have thrown them back.
This is also true.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right. Well, one thing I will point out as you'll hear about them,
yes,
it doesn't connect to what we're talking about, so it's completely sideways, but hey, this is me, I don't care. I've actually introduced Doku to Sapphire and Steel.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
The lucky bastard.
Yep, it's a
What
little
are those
awkward.
two dudes doing nowadays when they're not gay prostituting themselves down in Paddington?
Do you want to love when she was at her height?
Mm-hmm.
She definitely got me to my height during watching those shows, I can tell you that. It was that dress.
So what is it, Sapphire and Jewel? Are they friends with Trixie Latouche and Bubbles Flanagan, the other two hoochie-coochie dancers?
Sapphire and Steel, you half-deaf Australian cunt.
Well, them two.
Yeah. Joanna Lumley and David McCallum.
Yep. I introduced him to it a couple of days ago, and he's like, "Oh." I did point out it is really, really 70s. Okay.
It was funny because it was made in the 80s.
No,
one's
really?
One's not a big man-titted fucking redneck in a blue wife beater and a handlebar mustache, and the other one's a donkey.
No, it was English, not Australian.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
hey, there's an American in the room. You can take the piss out of him too, you know.
I know, but you're the one who's talking. You see, in England, we don't. Our women don't wear wife beaters and have mustaches. For one thing.
Neither do ours.
No, they shave.
No, that's the Muslim Sheilas.
Oh, this is going to get dirty. Right, anyway, I just wanted to mention about the Sapphire and Steel while I spoke to you.
Should enjoy it.
Batman. Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. I really think he'll appreciate
science fiction ghost stories where the ghosts aren't just aliens and robots and things. They're actually ghosts.
Yeah. Well, what was, you see, we was chatting about things that are, you know, remakes and whatnot, and he was saying about, can you think of any really good remakes? And suddenly it hit me. Oh my God, why don't they remake Sapphire and Steel? Then I remembered the sort of crap that you'd end up with.
Jensen,
AMC. Yeah.
Jensen, if they remake Sapphire and Steel, I will hit you. I will greet MC in his own language. Hello, MC!
What's up, MC? And I'm going to share something else real quick, just to really hammer the point home about how this narrative works with the gun control people. Was I not just talking about this?
Oh, Jesus. That's him, isn't it?
It's gun elimination.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this
I
is...
saw this meme. I can't remember where I saw it. Got this black one with a rifle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it actually says, in the 1880s, gun control was introduced by the Democrats to take weapons out of the hands of the victims of the KKK.
So I'll just read this for everyone. Biden is calling for background checks prior to certain gun purchases. He is not calling for taking guns from people who already have them. So indeed, no one is coming for your guns. Of course, of which I need to respond.
Of course. When you find it.
Yeah, when I find it. Come on. Come on. Tink, 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 tink.
Yes, I countdowned him.
Yep.
Yes, you did. We already have background checks. Also, red flag laws would indeed mean someone is coming for your firearms. That's the point of them.
Yes.
That fucking
There's a
that
background
thing.
check, someone will come for your firearms.
But that thing you said earlier about the black Sheila saying about the fucking keeping the weapons out of the hands of the KKK victims makes zero fucking sense when most black people over there have access to fucking firearms anyways. Like, the large predominancy of them are fucking illegal to begin with.
That's why they're
And-
trying to get gun control.
Yeah, but like, okay, they've already
It
got
was
the
also
frigging guns, so where's the whole fucking like piles of fucking lynched KKK members that have been happening over the years rampantly?
True.
Yeah.
But it was also just trying to put a point about what gun control laws are really about.
Control.
Control. Disarming people who might object to you.
Again, that's the point. Why do they want you to have a background check? Well, the obvious answer, at least the answer that's most common, well, they want to make sure you're not a criminal, convicted felon, or someone who's on an FBI watch list. Okay, yeah. That also lets you know who is intending to purchase a firearm, which means red flag laws would be able to tell you who indeed has a firearm, which, through basic logical one plus one equals, someone's coming for your firearms.
Yeah, wait till they also insist on biometrics with that with those background checks.
Yeah, now they know that you distinctly have a firearm, and they know exactly who it is because of the biometric scan, so they know exactly who the fuck you are.
Yeah, I'm forgetting who it was. Somebody says, they've got to have there's a register of every weapon that in the US, because they pre-fire them so they can get the rifling marks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if you buy your rifle, take it home, and you've got the equipment and you know how to do it, so you reboard the rifle, so it's got a completely different rifling?
Technically, that's already illegal as well, but they'll say that, well, we need more legislation to prevent people from doing this. It's already fucking illegal. Hey,
Well, you can make repairs and stuff like that, and if you do something like bend your barrel and like, you are allowed to replace the barrel and things of that nature, and that's no
I
big
think
deal.
you've actually got to take it to a shop and have the shop replace it with a barrel.
Well, typically, you do that because not everyone has your gunsmithing tools to remove the tubes and whatnot. Like, there are some specialised clamps and spanners and stuff like that to actually do that, and it's just easier to let a gunsmith do it because they've got it all.
Hey, if you want to be truly untraceable, use a
One
black
sec.
powder. Use a black powder musket rifle.
I agree with
Or
him there.
musket rather.
It's okay,
Rifling.
fighting. I've got a couple of Allen keys. That'll sort out the problem.
Well, that's another thing there too. I mean, like, when you buy the firearm, just run some fucking rough shit up and put some more fucking lance and grooves in some more scoring in the lance and grooves.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what a lot of criminals do with firearms here in the United States. Is they'll take a piece of steel wool and they'll shove it down the barrel and they'll scrape it up so that the ballistics don't match.
I actually heard one said, I think it was in the United States, got shot because the guy coming out of the 7-Eleven that he just robbed had painted the tip of his pistol orange.
Yeah.
Well, that was going back to what I was saying earlier. About
hey, you've only got a toy
pink
gun.
and shit.
Boom.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying about the fucking people painting their guns bright fucking pink and making them look like fucking toys and stuff like that. Kids will think it's a toy, and then some cunts will think, oh yeah, that's fluorescent pink and yellow. That's clearly a water pistol. Bang! Oh shit, it's not.
No, you're right, mate. I'm not
I think
disagreeing.
that's because most of the time one of the reasons it was a knee-jerk reaction, if you ask me, that they insisted that toy weapons had that orange thing on is because the amount of times people who've just been playing with toy guns are just being shot because it's a real gun. No, it's not.
Well,
You gotta love-
the orange thing doesn't fucking save you anyway, because it wasn't like one of the things that BLM were fucking crying about was one of these shootings that happened fucking a couple of years ago, and there's footage of it where there's like this kid sitting in like this fucking like picnic area of like some big park or something like that with like tables and chairs and even this little fucking shelter or something like that. And the cop car basically just screams up and they fucking summarily execute him before they're even fucking stop skidding.
Wow.
They're like the cops are trying to say that like, oh no, we did our due diligence and it was bullshit. It was like, do you want to grab his? Oh, he's dead.
Yep. I'm okay with that. Talking about cops, just because it's funny, I take it you guys have been keeping up to date on the George Floyd killing and the so-called court case?
Sort of.
Kind of.
Well, I'm assuming you heard then how the basically how the entire court case has fallen to pieces because them that want him taken down for it, their entire case is destroyed as some of their witnesses are refusing to, as in witness, and B, they're saying things that actually are helping the defence to the degree that apparently the defence are actually going to call them as witnesses.
Oh, yeah, I have heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, and talking about police, have you heard they're rolling out new uniforms for the British police?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Arseless chaps?
No. But they've got heavily reinforced and cushioned knee pads.
Oh, that's harsh. I'm not disagreeing, but it's harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are all the George Floyd defence witnesses basically just dropping him in it even further?
Yep.
Yes. They literally are.
Let's face it here. I mean, let's be honest here about George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have far more enemies in his own neighbourhood than he ever had in the police in the local police force. And in this case, they're going to go out there wait to make him look bad.
Oh, the one witness that Jensen's referring to is a guy who was allegedly, I should say, friends with George Floyd, who refused to testify because he doesn't want to be implicated on charges because he was indeed George Floyd's drug dealer.
Yeah, I was just gonna do a little fucking tirade skit kind of things. Like he's one of the witnesses. Yeah, when George and I was raping these two white chicks, we were just talking about how we was going to go dance. Oh shit! Shouldn't have said that.
Well, you can understand why this guy would refuse to testify under oath if he was allegedly George Floyd's drug dealer when one of the medical examiners already declared his cause of death to be an overdose, which means he would be implicated for manslaughter.
Have you not heard about that? Apparently, we're not supposed. That doesn't matter, and we're only supposed to be concerned about what happened with the shooting, ignoring the fact that drugs might be involved.
He wasn't killed, and it wasn't drugs. He died of COVID.
Yeah, the worst part is they actually have said that, which is kind of funny.
I mean, let's face it. In America, they're digging up civil war deaths and saying it was COVID.
It's true.
I mean, technically, if the defense gets backed into a corner, I wouldn't see them trying to get the case dismissed if they can't get Chauvin implicated simply by saying, "Well, it was a COVID-related death, so therefore." It wouldn't surprise me. I know it's clown world level of nonsense, but at this point in time, would you be shocked?
Let's be glad it was George Floyd, not Georgina Floyd. Otherwise, that poor guy would be getting the chair.
That's true. That is actually a fair statement.
Without even trial, that would be it. Just boom.
Oh, I'm assuming you have heard that apparently the BLM Brigade actually don't think that there should be a trial for him, and he should just be punished.
Oh yeah, because he's white.
Yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
heard
no,
that
there was someone saying like we've already seen the video, like why is there even a trial? We should just implicate him on first-degree manslaughter and then execute him because
That was
Yeah,
actually,
he
yeah.
saw a video.
that was actually a white person who said that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's because the evidence is coming out and it's looking pretty bad. And it was like, oh fuck, we've been duped. No. We don't want to look like idiots. Just no. Keep doing what we say. Don't look into it.
I've tried to point this out to a lot of people. Yeah, you saw a video. I saw it. I actually jumped on it with Dodge real quick because we made assumptions before all of the evidence had come out. There's a reason that we have due process, so we can go through the evidence. And yeah. So there's a reason we have due process because it's certain people's jobs to present evidence and prove either innocence or guilt. Hence why we have guilty until proven innocent, or innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. And these people think we shouldn't even have that. We should just immediately go straight to the execution process. They're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the good idea on that. Let's get rid of the police and reinstate the judges.
Oh yeah, these are the same people that want to take away your guns because they don't believe in gun violence, but apparently they believe in vigilante justice. Work that one out.
They don't believe in gun violence if it's you.
Yeah. I would agree with Batman if, and only if, we can actually do the judges from Judge Dredd.
That's the kind of thing I was on about.
Yep. In all fairness, the judges from back in the Wild West weren't exactly...
Seeing as Judge Dredd is an English creation,
I know.
They should all be trained by the English.
Mm-hmm.
So going on about summary execution and stuff like that, I love it when cunts out here start screaming for it because, you know, they're fucking soft-cock, mamby-pamby fucks who can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. So you throw this logic at them. It's like, well, according to your logic, all murderers should be executed. And how do you think we go about doing that, son? Because eventually someone's either got to pull a trigger or push a button, which means that person's the cause of this person you wanted to execute's death. Now that, by your rationale, because this bloke's fucking killed this other bloke, no, regardless of what circumstances it was under, this other dude's now a murderer. He's just murdered someone. He's just tied someone down and killed him in cold blood. Now we've got to kill the executioner. And how do we go about doing that?
You don't
so
have to.
You basically just justified murder there, son.
No, you don't have to. You see what you do. The guy who's to be executed, you put him in a steel room, locked from the outside, with a pistol that only has one round in it.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't use the round, then it's the dude who locked the door that still has the responsibility because he locked him in there.
That's the problem.
Yeah, technically that is a point. It's technically murder for willingly doing it.
No.
And then there's equipping,
and you get him to shut it.
No, then there's equipping as well, because if you fucking locked a dude in a room with a hook on the ceiling and the length of rope and you knew the cunt was suicidal, you basically gave him the tools to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is actually one way, if you want to know, okay? What you do is same idea, a guy drags the target in, locks the door, drags the target in, goes in the room with him, locks the door, and then pulls the lever on the side of the wall that kills both of them. That is the only way you could do it that would class as legal.
Farty's going to call him up with, but the guy who employed the first guy is responsible for it, so he should be murdered.
Actually,
No. No, actually, it's murder-suicide, and God will fucking punish the other bloke, so...
that's actually fair. Yeah, I can't argue
that means God needs to be executed now.
Yes.
Yeah, so those people have now just advocated for killing a deity.
Hey, Jensen, you should read Oz's comment.
I just saw it. Find a big iron somewhere just to send all the... Oh! Yeah, I don't think we really should have that discussion given either of the two people
Actually, Oz, you don't need an island. All we need is an atoll that's owned by the French military.
Yeah, Oz, the British did that twice. The British did that twice, and look at where you are with their first attempt.
This is
true.
We did
it 3 times.
Who's the third?
New Zealand.
True, yeah.
But look what happened in New Zealand. They become a bunch of stuck-up upper-class twats.
No, you fucked up.
That's how you see it. You say
You
twat.
fucked up with you fucked up with New Zealand because you didn't actually send any of your crooks over there. You sent all your fucking your limp wristed fucking namby pamby cunts. You look at them now; they're sucking up to fucking China.
Actually, Farty, you're wrong. We sent all the blue collar criminals to Australia and all the white collar criminals to New Zealand.
Worryingly, he may be right.
Yeah, the limp wristed namby pamby fucks.
Exactly.
Am I
You're
arguing
both
with you?
completely correct. Oh dear.
This is completely unrelated, but I have been subjugated to it. Therefore, I'm going to share my pain.
Okay with this.
We don't care. So did Shirati leave because I joined?
No, actually, she left because her battery was running out.
And here I thought she wasn't going to get any
Wow.
announcements.
Welcome to high fashion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, if he was to walk down my street, he'd get a fucking. He wouldn't live.
Looks like it should be a fucking a thug from A Clockwork Orange.
That's it.
That's what I agree with you, dude. It really does. Jesus! What if they're actually remaking that film?
At first, I thought it was a high fashion butch lesbian.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I wouldn't fuck with this person because it screams of mental illness.
It looks like it's going jockey, country club, fucking tennis outing, soccer.
Why has he got American football pads underneath his jacket?
I'm glad you noticed that bit.
I did as well.
That's the new fashion. Is the chicks with big saggy tits, they're now fucking sticking them down their sleeves.
Right. No, I'd take him out with a baseball bat. Admittedly, I'd be in a car doing 70s. I went past him.
Yeah.
And I'd have some kind of reinforcement so I don't break my arm.
Yeah.
Looks like it's wearing a helmet so as it stops fucking headbutting things. Mom, get like candy.
Oh God! If God was watching this, he'd probably actually recognise.
No. What this is he's actually going to where his wife works. He goes, that bitch has fucking put the wrong fucking clothes on again.
Yep, I agree with MC. This is what vegan food will do to you. Feel better.
No. I think MC is saying that he is vegan food.
Oh God, that's even worse. Well, I'm actually willing to accept that.
Hi, my name is Joe Ann, and I play for the women's NFL.
It's ma'am.
I should laugh, but they may actually do that. Ah, dear. Well,
if we actually manage to survive as a species sometime past 50 years into the future, we're going to look back and realize we were living through a very, very dark time in human history.
What makes you think any of us cunts are going to be alive in 50 years?
Actually, when you look at it, I mean, the 60s, explosion of expression, right? Of freedoms, of love of freedom.
Yep.
And you look at now, it's like the reverse. It's the perfect opposite of the 60s.
You actually really could make an argument with everything that's going on with like expression, identity, all this stuff that freedom actually, like ultimate freedom actually isn't a good thing, and we actually should be advocating for a totalitarian society. Makes you wonder if that's the point.
When you think about it, in all reality, nobody is ever truly free.
Yeah.
Responsibility stops you from... Actually, no, there are people who are truly free. Children.
Fair. Doku, before you run off with this, in the bottom right corner, you've got these two bods. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks like a school uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just me, is it? You could see that as a school uniform, couldn't you?
Yeah, it also makes me want to kill them.
And one of them looks like it should be a claymation character from Wallace and Gromit or something.
Which one?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, but the thing is, when people live an entire life where they've got complete freedom, never have any response, they don't grow up.
You're not wrong.
That's what we're seeing now.
They're called lefties. Yeah.
Cunts like these two sluts in this picture fucking hate people like me for the simple reason my tits are bigger than theirs.
They hate people like each other as well. That's the thing.
Envy says it's Gumby in disguise. Oh,
Yeah.
I cannot unsee that. It's green Gumby.
I don't know who Gumby is, so...
It's an American thing, but I
Oh,
don't
right.
think. I
So
think
it's an
we can
important
safely. Ooh, don't be nasty, but true.
Hey, which country voted in the zombie?
Here, hold on. I'll see if I can find.
It's true.
I'm not
No,
interested.
actually, I don't know if they actually did vote the zombie in, because after all, he wanted brains. I mean, he is actually the world's first brain donor that survived.
All right.
It's only in comedies that zombies eat brains.
Mm. Are
Yeah,
we?
Christ
yeah.
almighty. It's
The ne-
taking
the
you
ne-
that
the
long to
next-
find. Fuck, here we
hey.
go.
The next
Oh,
pres-
right.
the next press conference at the United States Capitol building will
Mhm.
be known as Weekend at Biden's.
Batman. There you go. That's Gumby.
That 90s
That's
cartoon Gumby.
fucking
That's older
sad,
than the
Baz.
fucking 90s, man.
Fuck.
Um,
I mean,
There's a
guys,
resurgence of it in the 90s, but fucking I thought it was from like the 60s or something.
gents, it looks like some American tried to copy Morph from the Tony Hart show and couldn't be bothered halfway through.
it does, doesn't it? He sat down in the wrong direction. It's like, that'll do. And yes, Miss Murder, we are. And you know what? We don't care.
Hello, Miss Murder, you murderous miss.
Yeah. It is. They have literally flattened some. Yeah, I'm sorry. It just no.
What the hell's happened to that guy's face?
All right. There
He's on
is
the-
a resemblance. There is
He's,
a-
it looks-
he's
it
on
looks
he's on the same shit that they were on when they invented Gumby. But like, you know, they say that like a lot of these stuff from the 60s and shit are allegories for drug references. Like H&R Puff and stuff actually was supposed to be like happy, relaxing Puff and stuff. Well, there's a green stick. What else do you use the term stick for?
No, that guy, he looked like he'd fallen on a glass fucking ceiling.
Yeah, face first.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. I'm glad we woke you up. You should be listening to us because we're amazing.
He kind of looks like he's at a public speech or something, like they's getting a blowjob from under the cenotaph.
I don't know. I reckon
the
he's actually
podium.
got a taser to both his nuts, and that's why he's putting that face.
Yeah, and he pulled the trigger himself.
Yeah,
He's
that's
enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Murder, you sleep too much anyway.
Sleep is for the weak.
Sleep
But
is
nonetheless.
dead.
What's sleep?
It's that bit where nothing happens for a few hours and you just lie there looking at the inside of your eyelids.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what you would probably call damn, another funnel web bit me.
He's not wrong though. Okay. Well, I think we can.
I don't care.
don't.
I'm just Miss Murder in the chat there.
I noticed. I was going to say, if it's me, I didn't even get to say anything. And you are right, MC. It is for the privileged. She's showing her white privilege by sleeping. It's disgusting, isn't
No,
it?
she's shown her female privilege.
Yeah, female and white. That's it. Evil.
Yeah, we've already got her word that she's white.
Oh, I've actually seen pictures, so yeah.
Yeah, you only got her word that those are pictures of her.
True.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, unfortunately, she's apparently not a lesbian, so she can't have the trifecta.
She says she's not a lesbian.
You hope she's a lesbian.
No, I don't. That's something that has always made me laugh is guys who've got the lesbian fantasy, because you know what would actually happen if you got into bed with two lesbians? You get beaten up and thrown out of the bedroom.
Yes.
No, actually, coming from someone who has experience at living with two lesbians full time, it's worse than just living with one.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got two of the cunts to fucking nag at you.
Yep, and lesbian relationships the most disastrous of all.
Yeah.
I have a question for the three of you guys.
Cool.
Does anybody remember back in I think it was like 2016, 2017, a quote journalists tried to prove that there was no background checks at gun expos, and
Oh,
they ended up not being sold a firearm at a gun show because they had to undergo a background check and they didn't pass it.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Doku, but I've already forgotten what the question was. But no, I don't remember. Seriously.
Where did babies
I do,
come from, I
actually.
think?
Yeah, no, no, this did happen. A reporter was trying to prove the whole gun show background check loophole. Went to a gun show and tried to buy a gun and got denied because they couldn't pass a background check.
Jensen,
Yeah.
check what Miss Murders just said.
Oh, I saw it.
I think you should
I'm
highlight
trying
it.
not to laugh.
You should highlight it.
I should actually, yeah.
There's only one person that's aimed at.
I wonder who.
You don't want the giant mech warrior emu. You want the giant mech warrior wombat.
No, we know that's combat wombat, and we don't mess with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I asked you guys this question is because apparently a reporter asked, "Is it the president's belief that you do not have to undergo a background check when you're at a gun show?" Responded by the press secretary, "No, it's not his belief. He believes that background check should be universal." Well, congratulations, Mr. President. We already have them.
Yeah, you're talking about Joe Biden again. And let's face it, most of the time, he doesn't realize he's president.
Well,
He's not.
to be fair, I'll tell you exactly what this whole thing is a push for. What they're trying to do is they're trying to ban private sales of firearms. That's what they're really going after when it comes to these background checks.
That's why they've done a huge law about ammunition.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, I responded to someone earlier that there's a reason that the next thing on the list is going to be background checks for ammunition and a waiting period.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I found out the real reason why there's an ammo shortage in America as well. And you need to blame Chris Rock. Because he did a full comedy spiel about how fucking how ammunition should be priced out of existence. It should be $1 million per bullet. Because yeah, sure, everyone can have all the guns in the world, but they're useless without the ammunition. I think some of these American politicians have probably seen that and went, "Hey, that's an idea."
I think Chris Rock should be forced to wear a frock.
Actually, I think a good idea would be to put him down the barrel of a gun and shoot him out of it. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who doesn't agree with that.
No, Jensen, that's wrong.
Why?
Trebuchet.
No, you see, they shouldn't put Chris Rock in a frock. You shouldn't put Chris Rock in a frock. You should put a transvestite on top of Chris Rock, because then you'll have a cock and a frock on a rock.
No, my reasons are sound. Trebuchet beats firing him from a gun, because if you fire him from a gun, you can't hear him scream until he goes splat.
This is a fair statement, and I actually next door got themselves a new cat. Okay, interestingly, they have called it Blackie. Now I'm wondering if I should actually have. Yes, it is pure black. I'm wondering if I should go up to them and say, "Please stop calling it Blackie. It is a cat colour. Therefore, it is a cock." Just enjoy that mental image of me actually turning around to them and say, "It's a cock."
Would this person punch you?
Actually, no. They'd probably either A, piss themselves laughing, or B, get all embarrassed and, "Oh, we're really sorry."
Or D, look at you as if you're a fucking nutter.
No, because I'd point out you can't call it Blackie because it's not a person of colour. It's a cat of colour. Now, that makes it a cock.
No, that makes it khaki.
No, instead of a POC, it's a COC.
I agree, Ms. Murder. I think I might. It'd be highly amusing.
Yeah, she wants you to do it.
All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about? If not, we've been going for like an hour and 20. So
probably, but I'll think of it about half an hour after the stream goes down.
fortunately, that's about fair.
I could waffle on for a little while. Yeah, I could waffle on for a little while about the floods we just had.
Oh, go for it, mate.
You just had a flood, have you?
Yeah.
Poor sod.
Yeah, fucking. Well, this one took every cunt by surprise, because even like the night before, right, I looked at the Bureau of Meteorology, and their rain radar, and I'm like, we've had worse than this. And yes, I do live in a flood zone, and yeah, this was on the cards, but like we're not supposed to have this one for another 15 years at least. This is a 1 in 100. Anyway, fucking woke up at like 4:45 or 4:45. I'm hearing the rain. I'm like, fuck, that sounds loud. And went to the front window and looked out the front road. Fucking across the street's got a floodlight going, and it looks like there's mist and shit coming up off the road. I'm like, oh, that looks deceptively flat. Could have sworn there was a bit of a curvature to that road. Anyway, let's go have a look out the backyard. Yeah. Anyway, so turn the lights on in the backyard, and oh shit,
I don't have a backyard no more.
I've lost about fucking 12 feet. Oh well, car's fucked. I'm stuck here. Just go back to the internet then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
is this when you noticed the bloke 3 doors down was building a large boat?
well, see, this is the thing of it, right? Like on my back balcony, it came about three or 4 feet lower than the balcony on the top floor, and I was going to like cause there's a gate there as well. The last people who used to live here had a disabled person. There's a winch that used to fucking haul them up on a bloody big plate. And anyway, most of that shit's gone, but like yeah, so the gate's still there, and I was going to put a boat on a frame jutting out from where this gate was, and like people like because it'd be 14 feet in the air normally, and when people point at it and go like, well, what the fuck is that for? And I was like, well, if it gets that high, I'm giving in. Never thinking it'd actually get that bloody high, but it fucking come close to it. So that was like at about 5 in the morning, right? So fast forward to about 7:30, and my fucking phone goes off, and I'm like, oh yeah, what's this? It's the SES, the State Emergency Service. Evacuate immediately. The flood warnings in the following areas, and I'm just like, you fucking assholes! I already fucking know about this. Anyway. And this is what shits me about fucking situations like this too, because I'm just like I'm fine, right? Like it's not rushing water; it's literally a babbling bloody brook. It's almost a still lake where I'm at. Apparently, up in the one door up around the corner, it's Whitewater Rapid City. Apparently, but they're a bunch of fucking drama queens, so it could mean it was fucking trickling. Anyway, so the State Emergency Service had come along. The Pommy Sheila, who's moved in recently next door, she's freaking out and all this kind of shit. And I'm just sitting there having a good old fucking laugh at it. And even sort of when they got her out, they asked me, "Oh, did you want to come out with us now? Because we mightn't be back later, and you know we've got lots of other people to rescue, and you know, so you might as well take the opportunity while we're here." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. You know, if I could." And I'm looking at me back steps, and I'm watching the fucking water recede, right? And a couple more times the SES has come past and asked me as if I had an option to get out. And then the third time they just come back with a copper, and I'm like, this is just fucking uncalled for. Because fuck knows what these fucking idiots are going, oh, this real big guy, we're all fucking scared of him. Oh, come on, he's going to abuse us. Yeah, well, I've done nothing of the fucking sort. So just because they carried on like that, next time I'm going to get a box mounted to the outside of the upstairs. There's flood response kit. And it's going to be a fucking toy cutlass, fucking pirate's hat, fucking bloody an eye patch, and a fucking Jolly Roger. I'm going to run up a fucking flagpole, and the next time, you're going to fuck off, prepare to repel borders, army hearties. You come near me, I think you're a hardy. Fuck you.
I support you completely with that.
What you need to do is you want to put some flotation ballast underneath the house, underneath your house, right? And put your house on extendable stilts. Right, so if it does flood, all that'll happen is your house will float, and the stilts will extend, but will keep you in position.
That's disturbing. I've got possibilities.
Yeah. So, and this is what shits me about talking to the fucking coppers out here, because I'm thinking, fucking, what fucking nonsense is going to come out of this dumb cunt's mouth? And literally, the first thing out of this fuckwit's mouth is he accuses me of child endangerment. And I'm like, what the fuck, cunt? He literally... he literally says, like, oh, can you stop wasting time and come out with us now? Because as if, like, I've already had, like, an argument with the SES over this, right? As if, like, that's been an argument. It's like, hey, we've got an 18-month-old kid around the corner that desperately needs rescuing and we can't get to him because we're wasting time with you. And I'm like, well, why are you wasting time with the suicidal firefighter and not observing your duty of care with the child who needs rescuing, you fuckwit?
I agree.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't see that one coming.
Child endangerment is on their part.
Exactly. And he didn't like it when I threw it back at his face. And he's like, oh, you got to come out now. And I was like, I need fucking time to go get my cats. Oh, we come and fucking help you get your cats. Like, no, you're not coming in. Fuck off. I'll go get me cats. Go get everybody else. I'm fine. I'm the highest point in the joint. Right? Apparently now we've got, I'll later find out, right, we've got cunts hanging the fucking telegraph poles around the fucking corner fucking trying to keep their heads above water. This cocksucker's fucking bunging this shit on with me. Then he does the same thing up to me neighbour on one side, who was fine, didn't want to leave. Then this cunt's fucking arguing with him. Now, the bloke around the corner who's behind my neighbour on that side who didn't want to leave either, he's got the shits with my neighbour because his fuckwit cop was too busy dealing with Wayne instead of going around the corner and dealing with Daniel's missus who was stuck and desperately needed fucking rescue. So this fucking cocksucker not only didn't observe his duty of care like 3 or 4 times whilst claiming that he was observing his duty of care, he was making up fucking nonsensical fucking bullshit, which fucking makes me lose even more fucking respect for the cunt, not that I had any in the first place. But fucking, like, causing all this bullshit, and now we've got a rift in the fucking street because this cunt's fucking too busy wasting his time with people that didn't need to be rescued, and fucking, what a fucking idiot. And then this dumb cunt for the next 2 or 3 days, right, keeps singling me out and giving me information. The unfortunate part about it is, right, like, I know a fair bit about meteorology and all this kind of stuff, and effectively the conversations that we were having was like, I'm a NASA, MIT, Harvard qualified fucking astrophysicist, and this cunt's just brought me the little golden book of the stars and said, look, I'm going to teach you about astrophysics. Like, how fucking insulting does that sound, right? I seriously don't want to talk to this fucking idiot anyway. So he reckons that he did give me time to get the cats out, and I said, it's going to take me ages to get the cats out. Go fucking deal with everybody else. I'll be ready by the time you get back. And then they said, oh, we don't have time for that. So, no, you didn't give me time to get the cats out, and I'm glad I left them behind, because what this fuckwit wanted me to do is put my 2 cats in boxes, 2 cats that really don't like anybody but me, right? They fucking hide when cunts even fucking knock on the front door, even when they're upstairs. Right, fucking cunt comes to check the meter. They fucking disappear for a couple of hours. Right, they wanted me to put them in a box, take them up to a fucking golf club, and sit in a fucking giant bar area with fucking 50 other people and their fucking pets when I can't even let these 2 out. That would have been fucking horrendously fucking horrible bloody for them. Yeah. This cunt accuses me of child endangerment, then fucking wants me to fucking bloody abuse my pets. What a fucking fuckwit. And that's the caliber of fucking copper that we got to put up with out here. And this is the reason why I really don't like talking to those stupid fuckwits nowadays. It's got nothing to do with them fucking like, oh, you know, like, you get dead shits who hate cops because they always reckon they get picked on because they can't stop doing shit wrong. I don't like fucking talking to them because I have to dumb myself down to such a fucking retarded level. I make fucking actual fucking Down syndrome cunts look like geniuses. Right? No bloody shit. And then I've got to put my fucking, like, my experience and qualifications behind and jump in the boat with this cunt who wants me to move from my safe space to somewhere else that I really don't want to be because of his own admission, he doesn't know what's going on. And I do. And I've got to listen to this dumb cunt. Anyway, so that was that. Yeah, pretty much. Everything downstairs was fucking ruined. I need a new car. Well, I got a new car, but my 380's fucked. Then I can't use the gun joke anymore. It's like, I got a 380. Brushed metal 380 auto. Where'd you buy that? Mitsubishi dealer. Hang on, Mitsubishi don't make guns. It's a car, you dumb shit.
Where'd you get that? And fell off the back of a ferry.
But there's a lot of shit that's going to come out over this because one, we didn't get the warnings, and two, everybody in the street lost their cars, and that's one big major thing there because we were in a flood zone. Insurance is insanely high as it is, and the council went and did us a favour and moved the border of the red zone a little bit further up the street, which put us into an even higher insurance bracket. So, like, it's about $30,000 or $40,000 a year for flood insurance. Yeah, so no one's got it, and because we didn't get a warning, and because no one's got insurance, every cunt's out of pocket fucking heaps now.
So, what kind of flood protection do they put in place?
None.
That's an umbrella.
If we had people who lived on the bottom floors of houses around here, they would have been dead.
Wow. I mean, even before we were starting to get floods in the UK, there were flood fucking precautions put in place, weren't there, Jensen?
Yeah. In all fairness, England doesn't get half of the shit that the rest of the world, that you guys do, being the rest of the world. But floods, it's something that we were always known for. I mean, let's be honest, London, very much like New York, it's basically built on top of rivers still under London that aren't.
Doesn't help you that it's one giant paved surface that only has certain outlets for water, and by the time it hits your ground level, it's actually coming in one big dollop because it's only trickling through. It's already collected on top.
It's so ridiculously overcrowded. They have rolling blackouts. The sewer systems are failing badly.
Yep.
The water system's failing badly. Yeah. It's all because of the overpopulation. Dickheads like Sadiq Khan. Oh, yes. I've got a stupid image running through my mind. Right? It's the end of the world, right? Hold on, Fatty. It's the end of the world. Yeah. The oceans are boiled away. Everybody's dead. Apart from Donald Trump, right? Who's sitting there in the ruins of the Oval Office. And the shuffling figure comes into the Oval Office. The black fucking habit and the cowl pulled over the head. Throws it back. It's Greta Thunberg. She opens her mouth, points at him, and Donald Trump shoots her in the head.
Well, your sewer system in London, that's something that can be fixed, and it's not really something that's a government issue. It's more of the general civilian population. You filthy fuck, stop wiping your asses with wet wipes, you bastards.
It's a local government issue.
Both right there.
If they didn't have to pull out a bloody fatberg every couple of bloody months, it'd run a little bit better for a while.
It's not just that; it's the immigrants, illegal immigrants, flushing all the fucking drugs.
Yeah,
they've got. They found eels in the Thames have high levels of fucking cocaine in their system.
Yeah. I was just about to say they did. Yeah, they did tests on the Thames water, and it's apparently 1% cocaine because of everyone pissing in the fucking sewer runoff and shit.
Says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And here's one for you. Okay, as you might have noticed, dear old COVID is kind of a thing now. Okay, they sent me a letter. They would like me to go in for a COVID jab because of heart and whatnot. So I've eventually decided, screw it, I'm going to get this. Called up and I'm sorry, the person you're attempting to call cannot receive your message, and we cannot save messages because their message system is full.
And they have COVID.
It's the real thing. COVID is what the world's got today. COVID.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
Oh, last week, I got rung up by this guy with a I would say a Pakistani accent, who claimed to be Greg from BT.
Okay.
About my telephone line. I was going to cut it off. I enjoyed myself thoroughly for half an hour arguing that I didn't have a telephone. And it's using all his logical shit to prove that I do have a telephone.
I am calling you on the telephone that I am talking about.
You're not. I don't have a telephone.
What is the wrong with you, sir? You have been talking to me on the telephone that I am talking to you about.
I'm not. I'm shouting out my window.
But sir, I am talking to you over the telephone line.
you're
I
not,
cannot
you're
hear you from
shouting.
where I am. I
You're
know I told
shouting.
you that I was supposed to be next door to you, but I'm actually in a call center in Mumbai. I have to admit that to you now to tell you
That's
that I
just
am
down the
talking to you on
road.
the phone.
That's awesome. I like
Yeah.
it.
Half a fucking hour I had him on the go.
Nice. All right.
I
Doku.
like doing this one with telemarketers. Is like you start mumbling shit in a sort of like a Russian sounding kind of accent, and then you pretend to pass it to somebody else when they continue like hello, hello, hello. And it's like, duh, what do you want? And then they're like, this is so and so calling from. This is Russian embassy. Why will you fucking call here? Don't call here again.
Mine isn't Russian. It's the phone rings, pick it up. It's a weird number here. Good Tag. You wish to speak to who? There's no one here by that name. How did you get this number?
Yeah.
Wait while we trace this call. Hello? They have hung up.
I actually had something akin to that. I had some genius. It was on World of Warcraft, but he's messaged me, and I was in. I don't know. I was in one of those moods, and he's like,
Oh, no.
"Hi, is it all right if I chat to you?" And I'm like, "No spac Anglis." And he's like, "What? No spac Anglis." This went on for about 10 minutes of him trying to work out where I'm from. He put all these various places, and I'm like, no spac Anglis. And at the very end, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to disturb you, man." I'm like, "Oh, it's okay. I'll speak to you later, mate. Bye bye."
I had a good one. Fucking walking past the electoral office one day, and there was like some local election. Fucking don't really vote anymore because what's the fucking point? Anyway, so to walk past all the cunts with fucking like the pamphlets and shit that harass you at the front. Anyway, as I'm walking past, I'm like, nah. And the last guy's like, "Does it look like I can fucking vote here, mate?" He just looked at me like I had two fucking heads. He's like trying to work out, hang on, what's that fucking accent? Yes, it does look like you can vote here. What's wrong with you?
Nice. All right, Doku, you got anything you want to add, mate?
Oh,
So no then. Okay then.
I'm debating how to respond to something. I guess this is kind of going back on topic. But
just slap your cock out and beat him on the forehead with it. That's a pretty easy response.
What you do is all in capitals, just write aliens. It works wonders.
Oh, normally I would.
Try drinking vegan bastards. Try that.
No, you
Normally-
talk to them and say, "Oh, right, yeah, I see what you mean."
Normally I would,
hey,
but I'll go ahead and share this with you guys because this is one hell of a gotcha question.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha, bitch.
Like, come on, man! If you're trying to get me in a gotcha, can you at least be a little more subtle about it?
Yeah, you could also always put. I'm also against arming known husband killers.
Mm-hmm.
True. Oh yeah, you could get him on sexism with that.
Yeah.
He specifically went out of his way and stated wife beaters. Oh, that is sexism. Seriously, that is your response, mate. Sexism.
Oh, my get out of jail free card for that is no bitch wants to fuck me or anyone that I've fucking been around. So that's all right. I'll never have a wife to beat. So I'll never have a wife to beat. So give me all the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Need an extra space.
Would I beat a wife if I had one? Probably. But that's beside the point. I don't have one to beat, so I'm not a wife beater. So there we go. Hey, give me guns.
What about husband killers? Oh, wait, they usually use poison or knives.
Mm-hmm.
And then why are you specifically targeting wife beaters? Are you a sexist? Do you hate men?
Yeah, they all use poison or knives except for Phil Hartman's wife because she was a fuckwit.
Okay, yeah, fuck it.
Do it.
He's done it.
I don't care. Like, I normally I would try to have like a more good faith debate back and forth, but Dude, you're
Not
trying to get me on a gotcha like that. Like that's insulting. It kind of pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Actually, that one, I'm against arming non-wife beaters. Don't you? Or, no.
You should have responded with
people,
like, "Oh, do you think the fucking wife beaters should have guns?" You say, "Yeah." What else are they going to do when their hand gets sore? Pistol whipping's way easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my same response when people call me a Nazi or a racist. I agree with them because that's shaming language, and when you use it, when you don't give into it, they don't know what to fucking do.
Yeah.
Again, that's the thing that pisses me off. It's like, oh, are you telling me that you're gonna sympathize with wife beaters? Like,
Well, yeah,
are they a potential threat to go out and commit mass murder? If the answer is no, are they at risk of they themselves being attacked or being killed or being murdered? I believe everybody should have the right to defend themselves. How about I don't know, maybe we could arm the wife that's being beaten. What do you got to say to that one?
Turn her into a murderer.
Yeah, it's gotcha questions like that piss me the fuck off, dude. Like, I cannot stand that shit. It's so fucking underhanded.
Just want it said, anyone who thinks that they should go on to Twitter and have a go at the William guy because he's an idiot, please don't. Why reduce your intelligence by speaking to him? Let Doku do it. He's American.
And the thing is, I go back and forth with this guy all the time, and I still stand by my statement. I don't believe this dude believes half the shit that he says, because he openly states this whole thing is about political debate and discussion. I know half the time it's just bait, and I'm stupid enough to take it.
Yes, you are.
But I don't know, that one kind of got to me, I won't lie. That one pissed me off.
Doku, that's one big difference between you and me. You're a taker, I'm a giver.
Ooh.
Still makes you go.
Yeah, it depends who you're giving it to.
No. As I said in my fucking prison rape and homosexuals video, is the fucking the argument for dudes getting raped is that, like, oh, but a guy needs to be aroused to do it. Now, you need to still fucking be aroused to continue the fat until you blow your load. And if the only thing you got's a hairy dude's ass that you've been sitting in the cell with, then unfortunately, if that's what keeps you stiff, I've got some bad news for you, son.
That doesn't keep you stiff. But like it says, it depends what you're giving it to. That makes you gay or Muslim.
Ooh, leave the goats out of it.
Okay.
As you,
Well, you just Doku just knocked the fuck out of that.
yeah.
Yep.
Was there something we said, Doku?
No, I hit the wrong button. My bad.
All right.
Yes, you are bad.
He knocked the fuck out of it, and then he went, "Oh, hang on, no, they were talking about gay sex." Hang on, get back.
Yep.
No, I got one more thing to share with you guys, because I'm confused. I'm so confused.
I can't actually read that. It's too small.
Okay. At the top, all the cosmetic features, none affect operation. The gun operates the same with the same accuracy with or without the cosmetics. Where's the logic for banning something because it's cosmetics? It's like banning people from employment because of tattoos.
Wait
They
a minute.
do that though.
Yeah. I know. Just look, we all know that's the case. Pick a lane. Colt AR-15 M16 was specifically designed for use in combat, kill as many enemy combatants as easily as possible. Ballistic Gel would disagree with you that it's cosmetic until AR redesigned to fire BB pellets instead of high velocity 223 rounds.
I've already lost any respect I had for this crystal ball ups. Yeah, if you want to say 2 kill, use the word, not the number.
Yeah.
Okay.
F-O-R.
I think it's Twitter shorthand because they limit the number of characters.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, now, big misnomers. The AR-15, M16, AR-10 fucking family of weapons was never actually really designed in the first place as a military weapon. It was actually more designed as a semi-automatic sporting rifle. Okay, it just so happened that they got a bunch of military contracts for both the AR-10 and the AR-15. And the bullet is not necessarily exactly designed to kill, because what they also found was that if you wound one bloke in a section of 10 men, 2 people now need to carry him. And that now means that you've effectively removed 3 people from a 10-man section. You hit 2 people, there's now 6 effective members of the section removed. And so forth and so forth and so forth. The AK-47, the same thing there too. It's not necessarily designed to kill. It's designed to make a large amount of damage to incapacitate somebody, so now you need 2 people to go and attend to that person.
That's very true, Farty, apart from one problem.
What?
If one of the people in that platoon is Jensen, that's only going to take 1 extra person out of combat, and that'll be Jensen because he'll be busy killing and cooking the other guy.
Yeah, now, the statement that a specific bullet is only designed to kill, denoting that other bullets are far safer, is a fucking stupid idea too.
All bullets are designed to kill.
Exactly, and you will find that a large predominancy of shootings in America actually are with .22 caliber weapons. Usually, the 22 long rifle, which is the embryonic baby cousin to the fucking 5.56. So if we got something that's far smaller with far less of a fucking charge behind it than a fucking assault rifle round doing the same amount of bloody damage, your argument's pretty fucking null and void there.
Farty, let's face it. If you know where to aim, you can kill somebody with a high-powered BB gun.
Exactly. Yeah, that's actually a thing there too. I mean, fucking people used to get killed with ramset fucking guns when cunts used to fire nails through floors. Like, they'd be doing their flooring and shit like that, and, you know, fucking some cunt on the floor below, all of a sudden, they're walking through their lounge room with a cup of tea going to sit down, and next thing you know, they get shot through the head with a nail. Bloke upstairs got no fucking idea what's happened. That actually used to be a thing. And yes, there were high-powered BB guns and stuff like that that could penetrate the skin. They weren't going to go very far, but, like, there are some places on your body which are pretty fucking thin between fucking vital organs and stuff, like your spinal column and things of that nature right around your neck. You know, it could cause a little bit of damage.
Hey, Farty, if you got hit in the throat with a high-powered BB round,
that'd probably swell your esophagus up and stuff like that. You'd probably end up in hospital. Yeah. So, but like, anyway, pull it back up for a sec. The ballistics gel doesn't mean bloody shit either, because it's not a proper representation of what happens. Pull the comment back up.
Doku?
Yeah, it's an approximate.
Yep, I'm on it.
And it's not just the ballistics gel itself, too. There's got to be a few layers of various other things in front of it to make it an actual accurate test of the ballistic capabilities of the round. There's one more point. Cosmetic, until the AR is redesigned to be a BB pellet. Okay. Fucking this cunt doesn't know what cosmetic is, because he's then going to go on and say, change the rifle from a rifle to something that's not an actual rifle, and then it'd be non-functional. That's not got anything to do with the cosmetic. It's got everything to do with the actual functioning parts of the fucking weapon itself. So what he's basically arguing is that, the cosmetic things make the difference, and the operating parts like the barrel, the breech block, and all this kind of stuff are also cosmetic. No, they're not. Why are people this fucking stupid?
Because they're allowed to be.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that's the actual answer. People are stupid because they're allowed to be.
Well, that is true. Encouragement awards and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking funny though. It's like, like back in school when I was a kid, they'd be like, don't encourage stupid behaviour when some kid was acting like a goose, but like then they'd give the dumb kind of fucking encouragement award for getting something wrong.
Yeah, and when MC was at school, hold on, MC was never at school, didn't have to when he was a kid.
Nope.
No, when MC was at school, Og was using flint instead of fucking chalk.
Don't be stupid. They hadn't discovered flint when MC was a kid.
That was high tech modern stuff.
Yeah, it was still it was so far back. It was I was lucky to find a sharp stick age.
All right, I'm going to bring this to an end as we've been going 149. Thank you very much for any of you that stuck around and are listening. Hopefully you learned something because, well, we talked a whole load of weird stuff. But point being is that the whole gun violence thing, no, it's just ridiculous. And quite simply, why the hell did America actually put Biden in? The guy's an idiot.
Get rid
Actually-
of guns. You won't. Yeah, you won't have gun violence. You'll have broken bottle violence instead.
Yes.
Actually, I got something. For if there are any fairy pinko limp wristed faggot fuck bloody poofed of fucking limp wristed dope smoking fucking hippie crystal clutching tree loving fucking fuckwits out there that really hates guns and doesn't even want little Johnny to doesn't even want little Johnny to have a picture of a gun up on the wall because it might provoke some violent thoughts in his head. Just remember, when little Johnny wants that fucking NASCAR picture or that Santa Fe fucking locomotive or that 747 picture up on that fucking wall too, that those things kill more people than guns do, and you're all right with him having those.
Yep. Doku, anything you'd like to say, mate?
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to end with is when they say, "Oh, it's about safety," or "No one's coming from your guns," bullshit. Don't believe them. They're lying to your face. They openly state that's what it's about. It's about control. They want you dependent on the government. They actually don't care about gun violence. More specifically, they don't care about criminal actions. They want you to rely on the government. They want you subservient. They want you dependent. They want you obedient. That's what this is about. It's quite literally in the name, gun control.
I have something to say.
Go on then.
Well, all those people out there, guns don't kill people. People kill people. And leftist parents kill their children's souls.
Yeah. And Shirati, I completely agree. Let's promote the Second Amendment. Well,
First, you got to save the first.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, well. All right, peoples. Speak to you later. Bye bye, everyone.
Das Verdania, comrades.